Bag with Jen Crosby and Sydney Allen, and I'm going to turn the time over to Sydney.
All right. Welcome, everyone. We're excited to have so many people joining us for this new consulting skills certification brown bag. We're excited to get this rolling, and we've had a lot of good feedback. So let's get started on how to be a rock star. I know deep down in your hearts you really wanted to be a rock star, but now we're going to show you how. So everyone can be a rock star consultant. Can I have someone share what their definition of soft skills is? What do you think? When you hear soft skills, what do you think about?
It's people skills, communication, your ability to move things forward with others.
Yeah, that's perfect. Patrick, were you going to say something?
No, that basically summed it up. That was perfect.
Yeah, I think that's a great definition. Soft skills, people skills, the way we communicate verbally, non-verbally, how we interact with people, holding people accountable for things and holding ourselves accountable. So this certification focuses on soft skills and why soft skills matter. Patrick, how have you seen soft skills matter at a client site?
So when you're on any team, you know, there's egos involved, and conflict resolution is a really good skill to have working with anybody, whether it's someone you work with, whether it's your friend or your spouse, but specifically with a client, there's always room for disagreement, and how you disagree, I think, is really important, and how you move things forward with a team is going to come up daily. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's really important.
Definitely. And we have a whole module all about conflict, resolving conflict, lots of good resources for resolving conflict. And I will let Jen take it away with talking about the certification. And yeah, go ahead, Jen.
Okay, thanks, Sydney. So we are super excited about the Consulting Skills Certification. This is many months worth of work coming to culmination here. And so we're really, really excited. And before I kind of get into what this looks like, I just want to take just a second to thank Angela Perry, Anissa Lignell, and Chad Harris. Chad, I see you're on here today. They started this and got the ball rolling on this, and we are really appreciative of the foundation. They said they were super busy at the client, so Rachel and I and Sydney took that over from there, but they set us up on a really good foundation that really helped us move this forward. So thanks to them. We're really grateful for them. So the Consulting Skills Certification, it's as Sydney discussed, it's about soft skills and skills that will carry you and make you that rock star consultant, which you already are. We're just going to tweak it just a little bit because we all can practice these skills all the time. We find that they're very valuable. No matter whether you think you're great at them or you think you're not, we all can improve. So the Consulting Skills Certification, you'll be set up with a mentor, or also known as an accountability buddy. So you're going to hear that term a lot. The office team have been using that term this past year. We know what that means. It's accountability partner. It's your mentor. So you'll be assigned an accountability buddy that will take you through this entire process. It will start with a self-assessment at the beginning. And so that will kind of direct you as to where you want to focus first. And then you will go from there. So we have 10 different modules in the Consulting Skills Certification. You can complete them in any order. So you will focus on what you think is the most important first. You may do one module at a time or up to 3 simultaneously. It will just depend on what your circumstances are. If you're really busy, billable at the client, you may only want to take 1 at a time. If you've got some extra time and want to move through, you can take up to 3. So each module requires a practice time. So you'll make some weekly commitments. You will discuss them with your accountability buddy, and then you will practice them. So you'll have at least 4 different commitments for 4 different weeks. and you will go through those. Each module contains readings. It has some sample commitments. You'll have your check-in. And when you complete all 10 modules, it is eligible for the $150 certification bonus. So that's kind of fun too. So we also have, to follow that up, the Consulting Skills Mentor certification. Now, don't get overwhelmed when we say mentor. What we really mean is an accountability buddy. So you can be an accountability buddy for someone else once you have completed the Consulting Skills certification. So you'll finish that. It will help you work on your consulting skills. It will help you work on your leadership skills, help you gain confidence, and be able to really kind of cement those skills as you go through it again with somebody else. So part of that is you will first complete this consulting skills certification on your own, and then you will shadow at least one mentor group that's already going on, and then have someone mentor your accountability buddy check-in. So once you have helped someone else through 10 modules, and it could be different consultants, it could be a one person, because some people may only want to go through one module. Once you have mentored someone through 10 modules, you will also have earned another $150 bonus and the Consulting Skills Mentor certification. Now, one question that always comes up is this billable? This is time, just like our other CDP goals, that you will work on as part of your CDP. So that is not billable time, it's CDP time. So you can, as you know, your CDP has a great place where you can work on certification or the soft skills portion. So make this part of your CDP goals. And this shouldn't take a lot of extra time for the most part outside of your normal everyday interactions, because your sample commitments are going to be things that can be done through your normal interactions at work or with your family. They are things that are going to fit into your normal everyday life. So let's see. Okay, Sid, we can move on to the next one. So we do have the 10 different modules in the Consulting Skills Cert.
So Jen, sorry to cut you off. Sydney has her hand raised, and I don't know that. Looked like she was trying to talk, but I didn't hear her, so I don't know.
She's our timekeeper.
Okay.
So I'm not ignoring her. She's letting me know, and you have 30 seconds.
Just making sure. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Celeste. I appreciate that. Yes. So Sydney, if you do have a question, you should raise do this. Okay. Thank you. So we have these 10 different consulting skills modules. Y'all let you read through them there. We are going to go through each one just briefly. So we will do that here in a second. We have asked Patrick Ridd. He's been going through, we have 15 consultants who have been piloting this with us. Patrick's one of them. And I've asked Patrick to share with us what a module looks like for him and how that's going to fit into your life as you're working on client work, as you're in the Dev Center. How's that going to work? So Patrick, will you explain to us what a module looks like?
Yeah, thanks, Jen. So modules are areas of learning or hubs of learning that that make up the soft skills certification. So they usually take 4 weeks. So depending on your situation, like you talked about earlier, you might want to commit to more if you're in the Dev Center, or if you're on a client, just depending on your situation, you might want to commit to less. So I'm in a cohort with Austin and Mick, and Rachel is our coach. And we were in the Dev Center and we started. And so she recommended we start with 4 to kind of just get the ball rolling. And just to go deeper inside a module, they consist of videos, as you can see, articles, podcasts, book summaries, and some awesome STG trainings. So when you first commit to a module, the first thing you want to do is read the instructions, because that will tell you which resources are required for that module. And then once you've gone through all those required readings, the videos, you'll want to commit to a certain action for the week. And these actions can be more articles to read. They can be noticing, for example, if you're going through like the body language module, there's commitments where you try to recognize body language and specific situations, and then each week after you've completed your commitment, you'll talk to your accountability partner or coach, and kind of debrief on what you've found, what you've learned that week. And those are really important because it reinforces the things you've learned by explaining that to the people in your cohort and also to your coach. And if you have questions about those commitments that you were kind of just like, I'm not sure about this thing, they can give you really good feedback on what they've learned in the past, and they can really give you some more clarity. So each week you have a new commitment, and then once you've done your 4 weeks for that specific module, you'll complete the form, which basically just kind of, you write a report on what you've learned for that month, dealing with that module. And then from there, you'll decide with your coach, if you're ready to go on to the next month, where you'll commit to some more modules. So hopefully that covered it. If not, please ask questions. But that's what a module is.
Thanks, Patrick. Appreciate your help. It's been really fun to go through this with our 15 consultants so far, and we've learned a lot. We've gotten a lot of great feedback, what's improved. So we ask a lot for feedback. As Patrick said, you'll complete an assessment at the end of every module, and then you'll complete an assessment at the end of when you've completed all 10 modules to see where you've improved. So we're going to go through each module, but before we start there, I just wanted to let you know that they're on the STG certification site. These certifications are there now. So if you go there, you click on the link, it will tell you how to get started. So, and with that, let Rachel start with some of our modules.
Okay, thank you, Jen. So these modules, something to keep in mind as we go through them, they're not in any particular order. On our Trello, as you go through the training, you'll be assigned a Trello board to help facilitate your training. And the modules are not in any particular order, so you can kind of decide where to start. And a lot of that is based on the initial assessment that you take. So just keep that in mind as I go through these modules, that they're in no particular order. The first one we're going to talk about is empathy, emotional intelligence, and that's the very first module. And really, this module speaks to STG's company value. We do the right thing. We treat people like people and not objects. And this is a really important module because it actually is a self-discovery. It's a journey that identifies where you are today and where you want to be. In this module, you will learn how to improve relationships. You'll learn about what we call boxes. And some of you may have heard that reference from time to time, but you'll learn about what certain boxes are and what does that mean. And then when you identify that you might be in a particular box, how to get out of that box. So there's a lot of great information, and you learn how to obtain a heart at peace. There's some great book summaries involved in this module. So this module is a really great one to start off, but then again, you can start anywhere on these modules. But this is going to be one that, you'll really start seeing people as people. You'll also kind of be more aware of what those subtle signs might be. What are some things that trigger emotion for you, and may also be something that you identify emotion in others. So it's a really great module. So that's empathy and emotional intelligence and what we do with that energy. The second module is diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so this module, you'll actually learn about STG's diversity, equity, and inclusion policy. So that's a big part of this module. It's our policy, but it's an essential part of preserving and cultivating the culture that we want here at STG. We embrace differences and the value that brings. And this module will walk you through how each member of the team has something to contribute. You'll also learn about unconscious biases. And that was really new for me because, you know, unconscious biases are things that are impacting you on an unconscious level. And this module will actually kind of walk you through how unconscious biases plays a big part in our everyday lives, and how once we notice what those are, it really helps us overcome some of those things that restrict us or that keep us, hold us back. You'll learn how to lead with, this can lead to unintentional exclusions. So we're going to watch a short video clip to help illustrate what unconscious bias really means. And so I'll let Sydney go ahead and play that for us.
Your brain, by some accounts, receives roughly 11 million pieces of information each second, but your conscious brain is only able to process about 40. How do you handle all the rest? You handle it because you're really using two brains. Your conscious brain, which works with facts and data, has very little capacity and processes information slowly, and your unconscious brain, which is habit and intuition driven, has huge capacity and is really fast. One of your unconscious brain's best tricks is its ability to recognize patterns and use them to assign people and things to categories, allowing your unconscious brain to deal with all of the known, not dangerous issues, and leave only the few unknown or dangerous issues to your conscious brain. This allows us to recognize a pattern and act on it, rather than having to think about every interaction as if we were experiencing it for the first time. We can glance at that four-legged animal and know if it's a wolf or a cocker spaniel. That recognition allows us to make assumptions about the animal facing us, that the wolf belongs to the wild animal category and is likely to be dangerous, or that the cocker spaniel is in the domestic dog category and not likely to be dangerous. The assumptions we make about these pattern groups are likely to be based on our own experiences, on information we have gained from our culture or background, or from the media we listen to or people we admire. Unfortunately, those assumptions are often wrong. When we categorize people, our brains apply two other tools. One is affinity bias, a hardwired preference to respond positively to people who look, sound, and act like ourselves. Brain imaging scans show that when people are shown images of faces that differ from their own, it activates in milliseconds activity in the part of the unconscious brain that alerts us to possible danger. This may reflect a survival tool left over from ancient times when danger often came from those outside our immediate group. Today, however, this means the associations and biases are likely to be unconsciously activated every time when we come across a member of a group, even if we consciously reject group stereotypes. In addition to affinity bias, our unconscious brain categorizes people into groups and then connects those groups to our learned ideas or constructs about what is good or bad. Now, we've decided whether someone is like us or not, and whether they're good or not, all within milliseconds of meeting them. So, what can you do to manage your unconscious biases? You've already started by just learning about unconscious bias. Now, identify your own biases and address one at a time by building inclusive habits. Remember, if you do not intentionally, deliberately, and proactively include, you will unintentionally exclude.
Thank you, Sydney, for showing that. So that kind of is a great segue into the next module, which is being an ideal team player. In this module, you'll be introduced to the ideal team player model. We all have different personalities, different wants and needs, different ways of showing our emotions. So navigating through all of this, it takes tact and cleverness, especially if we hope to succeed. So this is where you will learn how to recognize your emotions, understand why you are feeling a certain way and how that can affect people around you. This module will also help you to understand how others might be feeling and how to manage a successful relationship. As you learn about how to be an ideal team player, you will gain insight to what we refer to as the 5 dysfunctions of a team. And basically, what those are is that gives you an idea of how to function together as a team player and how to avoid any pitfalls. And what it does and what it means, to be hungry, humble, and smart. You'll learn about those references and how that plays a big part in your success and how to develop these virtues as you are growing your skill set, your soft skills as well. So ideal team player is a great segue from the prior module. And as you'll see that when we talk about these modules, they build on each other. And so, as we have met already with some of our teams, our check-ins, we have shared how some of these modules cross-reference one another. And the idea is that it really does build on each other. They're really all foundational. And sometimes it's good to have a repetition or a different perspective of the same information to really resonate with where we are in that moment in time or where we are in our careers and our experience. And so from the ideal team player, we have accountability. And in this module, you will be provided with summaries of 2 fantastic books. The Oz Principle, which is a very favorite book of mine, as well as Conflict Without Casualties. And these are great 2 book summaries. Now, again, these are summaries, so you can opt in for the full book if you'd like. But these summaries really pull out the key points and principles. In the Oz Principle, in the Oz Principle, you will learn about what it means to be above the line and what it means to be below the line. Again, some terminology referencing back to being in a box or being outside of the box and how to recognize when you are there. You will go through a quick self-diagnosis and be able to recognize when you are in what we call a victim cycle and how to identify or define accountability as a personal choice to rise above one's circumstances and demonstrate the ownership necessary to achieve desired results. In the summary for Conflict Without Casualties, you'll learn compassionate accountability, which builds on what you learn in the Oz Principle, taking it a step further. You'll learn how to be open in a state of non-judgmental receptivity to your own and others' experiences. So you can kind of see here that it goes back to the unconscious biases too. So they all really complement one another nicely. What does it mean to be resourceful and persistent, and how does that all work? So in the accountability module, you'll get to understand a lot of those principles and tools for that. I know I've been talking a lot. We've covered a few modules. Before I go on to the next one, does anybody have any questions so far or comments for those of you who've been through the training and you've actually done some of these modules? Anything to share before we go forward? Okay, perfect. So the next one is giving and receiving feedback. So our company norm is we give the gift of feedback to others. We appreciate and we value the feedback we receive. So why is this important? Well, in this module, you will have information on how to get better at giving and receiving feedback. Why is it important to have a heart at peace when you do give feedback? And is it productive and useful for the other person? Because, feedback comes in many ways. And our approach is always to be productive and have that feedback be very useful, because the idea and intent is that you want the other person to succeed. Why is disclosure important? Building trust and increasing engagement. And be okay with being uncomfortable. Giving feedback at first can be uncomfortable, and that's okay, because that's how we grow. And in this module, you'll have lots of practice at giving and receiving feedback, and your weekly commitments will speak to those as well. The next module is communication and listening. And in this module, you will learn about psychological safety. And this is, again, one of my favorite modules, and how important psychological safety is to building trust, fostering relationships, and developing effective teams. How to actively listen, and how important it is to eliminate distractions to prevent misinterpretation. It's interesting because research suggests that we only remember between 25 and 50% of what we hear. So this is significant because we can all benefit from improving our listening skills. Good communication requires a high level of self-awareness. So understanding your own personal style of communicating will help you create good and lasting impressions with others. And here is a short video clip that helps illustrate the importance of active listening. This is not really, it's a situational video clip, but really it's just to illustrate the importance of active listening. So we'll have Sydney take it from there.
Pressure, you know? And sometimes it feels like it's right up on me and I can just feel it, like literally feel it in my head, and it's relentless. And I don't know if it's gonna stop. I mean, that's the thing that scares me the most, is that I don't know if it's ever gonna stop.
Yeah. Well, you do have a nail in your head.
It is not about the nail.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, I'll bet if we got that out of there...
Stop trying to fix it.
No, I'm not trying to fix it. I'm just pointing out that maybe the nail is causing...
You always do this. You always try to fix things when what I really need is for you to just listen.
See, I don't think that is what you need. I think what you need is to get the nail
See, you're
out.
not even listening now.
Okay, fine. I will listen. Fine.
It's just... sometimes it's like there's this achy... I don't know what it is. And I'm not sleeping very well at all. And all my sweaters are snagged. I mean, all of them.
That sounds really hard.
It is. Thank you. Ow!
Come on, if you would just...
Don't...
Try to see things my way. Do I have to...
I think that was a great example of, I know I've been in that situation before, and I've seen Nick, you said that was familiar as well. I think we can all relate. But in communication and listening, we really dive deep about how important it is to actively listen. The next one is resolving conflict.
Hey, Rach, may I ask though, as we've worked on giving feedback and so forth, we found that that's one of the more difficult things to do. So do we touch on finding skills to be able to give feedback?
Yes, and thank you for bringing that up, Chick, because I think one of the elements of this consulting skill certification that is highly important, and Patrick touched on it a little earlier, is that when you meet to do your check-ins and you pick your commitments that you're working on, if you are struggling, you know, in developing the skills or identifying where that might be in the module or what more you might need to help with those situations, those check-ins are vital to that. It's vital to explain it a little deeper, or to maybe even hear about a certain situation and helping someone through that. That's the value of those check-ins.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The next thing is resolving conflict. And in this module, you will learn about the difference between constructive conflict and destructive conflict, and how to identify the gap between what you want and what you're experiencing at any given moment. So how to communicate effectively what your gap is to change any future outcome. And this is, again, all of these concepts and principles, they take practice. I mean, going through this certification, isn't going to be a one and done. We have all continued to work on these skills as an office team, excuse me, as an office team. And so I think it's really important that you understand that as you learn these principles and skills, you're gonna have times where they don't work and times where they work. And the most important thing to remember is that you just keep practicing. That you just, over time, you'll just get better and better. Also remember with this module, you'll find that conflict actually has an energy. It is an energy that can be used in both positive and negative ways. I don't know if any of you have heard the reference fight or flight response. You probably have. And this module, you'll learn about what that is and where you tend to be. You'll have ways to recognize what these signs are and how to overcome our tendencies that shut us down in our communication, help reestablish safety. You'll learn 15 ways actually to handle confrontations with confidence, and an opportunity to review the crucial conversation model that you actually learned in the accountability module. You will see that there are cross-reference material between modules, which shows that each one of these are necessary to build that lasting foundation of consulting skills and achieve a successful outcome. And then I believe the last one that I have to share, it's not the last module, but the last for me to review is work ethic. And in this module, we visit one of our company norms. We do the right thing. We have integrity and are ethical. We strive to retain a positive reputation with STG clients. So what is the importance of having good work ethic? And what are the pros and cons? So you'll find, you'll have some dialogue there with your accountability partner. And how can you be successful? You'll learn how to prepare for your video calls, how to build strong virtual teams, how to remain accountable. This module offers a podcast by Brian Buffini, who is an immigrant who immigrated to San Diego in 1986 with basically nothing. And after becoming one of the nation's top real estate agents, he founded Buffini and Company. And in his podcast, Mindset Over Matter, he talks about how small changes in your mindset, motivation, and methodology can actually increase your success. And so that's a wonderful podcast, and that's part of this module as well. Any questions? Okay, I'll turn the time over to Jen.
All right, thanks, Rach. So we are to one of my favorite modules here, nonverbal communication and body language. And we, I think, all notice these things on a general basis. We just do, it's human nature. But this module will help us learn how to pick up on nonverbal communication and what people are communicating that is not what they're saying. So as we watch this video, I want you to notice how many things are communicated nonverbally in this video clip. So go ahead, Sid.
Here we go. All right, open.
This looks new.
Think it's safe?
What is it? Okay, caution. There is a dangerous smell, people. Hold on, what is that?
This is disgust. She basically keeps Riley from being poisoned, physically and socially.
That is not brightly colored or shaped like a dinosaur. Hold on, guys. It's broccoli! Yeah! Well, I just saved our lives. Yeah, you're welcome.
Riley, if you don't eat your dinner, you're not going to get any dessert.
Wait, did he just say we couldn't have dessert?
That's anger. He cares very deeply about things being fair.
So that's how you want to play it, old man? No dessert? Oh, sure. We'll eat our dinner right after you eat this.
Right. Here comes an airplane.
Oh, airplane. We got an airplane, everybody.
Thank you, Sid, for playing that. So I love this movie to watch body language, and you watch the different emotions, and if you watch their faces, you can pick up on those cues. So this is a really fun module where you can start to notice what those cues are. We practice picking up on them. Why does it even matter? Because look there at how much of our personal communication is communicated by the words we speak. It is only 7%. 38% is our voice, our tone of voice, and 55% of it is our body language. So it's important that we learn how to pick up on that in others, and that we learn how to project what we want to project when we are speaking with someone as well. So that is a really fun module. I think that the consultants who've gone through this have found this one to be fun. So that's, then we have one last module is interview skills. We're going to watch a fun video, but I'm going to warn you, viewer discretion is advised. You're going to be a little uncomfortable. We have two of our STG Rockstar recruiters that did some interview training for us, and we're going to watch that one now, and then we'll talk a little bit more about that, this module.
Thanks for meeting with us today. I'm super excited to be able to talk to you and see what you're doing and find out a little bit more about you. Is this still a good time to talk? Oh, I'm sorry. It looks like you're on. I can't hear you. You're on mute.
Oh, can you hear me now, Amanda?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, sorry, I'm just kind of finishing my breakfast here, and I had to run out to my car. It's like my house is a little loud. But yeah, hold on. Okay. But yeah, I'm good to talk now. So sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry I'm a little late.
Okay, well, it's nice to meet you, Ben. And so first off, tell me about yourself.
Yeah. So I love computers. I worked in the industry a long time. I do some some different things in my personal life. I'm a big jazz fan. Go Jazz. And I love the outdoors, and I've been here in Utah for 20 plus years. It's a great place. Anyway, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm about. Interested to talk with you today and everything. Yeah, I've been working with STG now to kind of get into a new role. So they submitted me over here. Yeah.
What are your strengths?
I don't know. Yeah. So I think, JavaScript, and then after that, in my personal life, probably things like, I've got, the nunchuck skills, and, the writing skills. I got some of those skills.
Well, last question, Ben, for me is, why should we hire you?
Yeah, well, like I said, I bring good JavaScript skills, and I don't know. I mean, that's kind of your decision, right? So you can decide. But I mean, that's what I'd say. I have good skills I can bring to the table.
Well, Ben, I want to thank you for your time today. And so going forward, you don't need to worry about anybody contacting you back, because we definitely will not be.
All right, thank you.
All right, so that was from our interview training, Amanda and Ben. Thank you. Obviously, that's what we don't want to do, but so the interview skills module is really important, and the consultants going through this have found this to be really valuable, as they've been on a lot of interviews. So we go through interview training is once a month with the recruiters, so that's a requirement that you attend one of those interview trainings. There are a lot of great articles that have been provided to us by our recruiting team. They helped us mold this module to help you maximize your interviewing skills. So it's been really good. And this is, the interview training is also available on the STG intranet. If that's something you just want to look at anytime, it is there under training. So this is also a really valuable module. So with that, I am going to let Sydney take it over.
Okay, to end our presentation before we get to our question and answer section, we just want to show you this culture doodly that we have for STG. We're really excited to get this consulting skills certification started. We've had a few people going through it already, and it's just emphasizing the STG culture, that we're so excited that you're here. We know that you have great things to offer, and we just want to improve on that and show you what you really are capable of. So we're going to watch this short video, and then we'll introduce you to our training committee, and then we'll open it up to questions.
Software Technology Group isn't just a technology company, it's a people company, which is why it is fitting that STG was started at Jeff Soderberg and Camille Cornaby's kitchen table. They had a vision to build a company that felt more like family than work, helping clients to build incredible and highly efficient software applications is only one piece of what makes STG great. Bringing skilled, talented, and passionate people to our table allows STG to constantly grow and evolve as a company. Each new employee adds to our family and brings insight and ideas that have helped us to be at the top of our game for decades. Our culture of feedback, career development, treating people like people, and always doing the right thing have been enhanced and built upon by each employee who sits at our table. Each STG employee is a valuable part of the company, and we look forward to your ideas, insights, and feedback. STG is a family, and because of that, we are invested in and care about your growth and career. As an employee, you have access to our mentorship programs, company lunch and learns, training, certifications, and career development plans, all of which are designed to help you grow your career the way you want it. STG has grown a lot since its beginnings back at Jeff and Camille's table, but our commitment to family and our core values remains the same. We are excited for you to pull up a chair and bring your knowledge and expertise to our table. Welcome to the family.
All right, we are excited for you to start this certification. We want to introduce you to, there we go. We want to introduce you to our training and development committee. We are going to be helping with the accountability buddies, helping with groups as you go through this certification. We've got Erin Kane and Devin Larson, who are representing our account managers. Erin Collister is our operations representative. Amanda Wade is our recruiting representative, and David Hogue is representing our practices. Jen and Rachel are the leads of the training and development committee, and I'm the practice manager. So if you have any questions at all, any concerns, any feedback, you can bring that to any of our committee members, and we'd be happy to help you pass along the feedback, implement feedback. We're really excited to start working with you on this certification. And with that, I don't know why it's not going to the next tab, but we'll just open it up to questions. What questions do you have about the certification, about the mentorship, about any of the modules? Any and all questions are welcome.
I've got, how long do we anticipate this certification taking? If somebody is in the Dev Center working on some technical skills and so forth, but they also want to take this, how long do we anticipate this certification would take?
I can take that one, Chick. So it will take 3 to 4 months, probably 3.5 to 4 is about the most quickly you would be able to finish this. And that's working in the Dev Center quite a bit, focusing on 3 to 4 modules a month. There is the practice time involved in keeping the commitments and meeting. And so with 4 weeks for each module, 3 to 4 months would be the most quickly you could finish that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chick.
Is there a link where we can access this to get started?
And it's on the certification site. I will post that here actually in the chat.
You're the best. Thanks, Jen.
Thanks, Andy. Good question. So if you'll just click on the consulting skills link there, it will take you to what you need to do. So.
I'm already there. You're the best.
All right. That was easy. It's all I had to do to be the best.
And are you done yet?
Andy's got a lot of work to do on this.
Chick hasn't brought me donuts in a while, so he's not getting any love. He values my love, and I'm withholding it for donuts.
Okay, I'm bringing donuts.
It's okay, Andy. He doesn't bring them to me either.
That's a soft skill right there, Andy.
Jen, so if somebody missed this Google Meet today, how do they find out about all of this?
So we are recording it. We will put it on our STG YouTube channel. We'll also put it in the newsletter for next week and put it under trainings on the internet. Does that sound like a good place, Rachel and Sid? So we will post it there. Good question. Thanks, PJ. And yes, Micah, we will try to cover, the bonus module of donut delivery etiquette or crumble cookies. Also, we could cover that too.
I really thought there would be a slide about that. I was a little surprised.
We'll take feedback into consideration.
How many consultants do you hope get this certification over the next, say, 2 years?
Rachel, you want to take that one? That's you.
I don't even mind taking that one.
Okay.
Great question, Scott. I appreciate that. Our vision and goal is that every consultant takes this certification and does the certification, and that all new hires finish it within the first 6 months. Right now, it's more of who wants to take it first so that we can get through that and not overwhelm all of the then we can have more accountability buddies after that. And so we don't, we're not requiring it right now, but we are hoping that everyone eventually takes this certification. We have found that with feedback from our clients and just success at clients that technical skills are amazing and important, but the skills, the consulting skills are just as important as the technical skills for successful engagements.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Scott. Any other questions on how this works, how to get started, how we can help you?
So just one more time. So if I'm a consultant, would I reach out to my CDP coach to get this started? Would I reach out to you, Jen, to get this started if I wanted to get this started?
So you would just go to the certification site, and there's a link on the page of certifications, just like there are for all of our other STG certifications. Sydney's going to awesomely pull that up because she's so fantastic. We just love her. So right there, if you click on that, it will take you to a splash page, which we have for all the certifications. So Sid, if you don't mind clicking on that, that would be awesome. And it will just take you to what you need to do, kind of just a quick overview, and an email group that you will just email this group and we will get the ball rolling. Once we receive that email from you, Sydney will get you connected with an accountability buddy. She will set you up a Trello board. This is how we're keeping track of the modules is on Trello, which is another great soft skill to learn. It's a great way to organize and plan your day, plan your tasks. So that is kind of another little fun bonus module in there, along with the donut delivery etiquette. You get Trello training too. So you'll just email that group and Sydney will get you started. It should be pretty easy. And we will, we have a pool right now of mentors and we're hoping to get several more ready to go soon. So thanks, BJ, great question.
Go ahead, John.
I think this is the appropriate way to ask a question.
Hi, John.
So what is the relationship of of this certification mentorship versus accountability buddy, I believe is the verbiage that's being thrown around, versus CDP coach? Especially as we want to make sure that CDP coaches continue to be involved. How does all of that kind of interplay?
Rach, do you want to take this one?
Sure. So you've got a great question, John, and I know that the mentor certification is actually relative to the accountability buddy. So they're actually one and the same. So sorry, if you want to be a mentor for this certification, part of that responsibility will be to coach and mentor and be that accountability buddy for any other team going through this certification. So going through the mentor program will help prepare you to be an accountability buddy. And then your CDP coach is, everyone from your account manager to your recruiter to your CDP coach to even us working with you on the soft skill certification. We all work in tandem with each other. We all work as teams. And so the CDP coach is, of course, focused on your technical side and your marketability growth, but they're also very much a part of helping with our STG soft skill certification, our consulting skill certification, and getting that incorporated into your existing CDP plan. For most of you who are on billable projects, your CDP coach will help make sure that you're not taking on too much, making sure that the right balance is there. And they're key for that. They are close to your world. They understand how things work, and we rely on that expertise a lot. So I hope that answers your question.
It does. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, John. Thank you.
Go ahead, Brian.
I just wanted to give John a high five because that's what I thought he was going for. So there it is.
High five, everybody.
No, this is great. I just actually wanted to chime in and say that the people that have been in the Dev Center that have done this last go around, that was kind of the first run of people that went through it. They have all loved it. They've had rave reviews on it. So I highly recommend everybody do it.
Thank you, Brian.
I'd like to also point out the Office team has been working on a lot of these a lot of the content in this certification. The Office team has been doing our own little, we didn't get a certification for it, but anyone in the Office team is welcome to go through it again and get a certification if they'd like. But we've been working on a lot of the content, and it's brought a lot of value to us as an Office staff as well. These practicing it, it's great to learn a lot of these techniques, but practicing is really where it makes the biggest difference. If you and so I really highly recommend everyone goes through it, and recommend the Office team think about that as well.
Thanks, Crystal and Brian. Any other questions we can answer? Or if you
You guys, it was a lot of fun. These guys were a lot of fun to put this together. We've been working on this, almost a whole year now. And yeah, we had some great ideas that got nixed, but you know.
And Anissa was great to work with as well.
Yes, Anissa, thank you for all your help. It was really a lot of fun.
Okay, Rich, anything else? And Sid?
If you think of any other questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're always happy to answer questions and get you started. If any of you are reaching out to the email that we showed on the certification page, just be aware that we're going to get some groups together, and it might take a little while to get the groups together, but you'll be hearing from us with your accountability buddy, who that is, and they'll take it from there just in the next couple days.
One thing I also wanted to mention too, is as we've gone through some of these modules, we've really been able to gain a lot of insight from our consultants going through it, and they've brought to the table a lot of great additional resources, and that's what we're looking for. So as you go through the modules, I want you to know that this is very fluid and agile, and we expect it to keep evolving and changing and improving over time. So as you go through it, if you have a great article that speaks to something, or a podcast or a book, please share that. We're open to hearing what is all out there, and we want to ensure that we have the best repository and resource for everybody. So we want to make sure you know that.
I don't have any, Rachel. I can't share any.
Yes, you do.
I think we've already got some from you on there, Matt. So
Yeah, we
that's not
do.
true.
I think we got the mind. I think we got the podcast from you, which is awesome, and some others as well.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. Be sure to reach out and get started, and we will see you later.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.